Call the Port of Johnstown Management Committee meeting to order at 6:30 PM. Regrets, Mr. Cameron and our mayor, Mr. Tory DeShantz. Before I ask for the approval of the agenda, I'd like to take a moment, and I want to take a moment to send our prayers to the entire community of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. From one small community to another, I know such a tragedy impacts everyone's in the area. God bless Tumbler Ridge.
Thanks, Steve.
May I have a move and a second to approve the agenda, please? Moved by Mr. Smell and seconded by Mr. Martell. All in favor? Carried. Disclosure pecuniary interest, the general nature thereof, any? Okay. Delegation presentation, we have none. Minutes of the previous Port Johnstown Committee meeting. Port Management Committee receives and approves the minutes of the Port Management Committee meeting dated January 22nd, 2026 as presented. I need a mover. Moved by Mr. Ward, second by Mr. Smell. All in favor? Carry. Business arising from the Port Management Committee meeting, if any. Number 7, discussion items, none. Number 8, we're into action information items. 8A, grain report will be presented by Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
Thank you. So we look ahead to the January month, we had 46,970. So total inventory moved. So corn started. We've been reporting, we've been dealing more in rail this year than we had in the past. Again, seeing an uptick strictly for corn. We did 25 cars, which was a total of 21. We looked at for operations, personnel focused a lot on sanitation again. We came off an inspection in early January and we had another one. We were preparing for confined space entry was a major focus. We did 66 bins. When we look down at the bottom, we'll see our grain totals. Corn, we were at 46,970. Wheat was at 12,658. Beans just over 10,000 at 10,146. We're under 1,000 ton now for miscellaneous cereal grains for a total of 46,970. Total trucks inbound was only 10 trucks. It was 430 ton. Said 25 rail cars. We shipped 426 trucks. So that's 17,070 tons moved out. And we loaded 2 wheat cars for rail that were outbound in the month as well. We did have one learning event when it came to recordable injuries or incidents. It was just a small bumped head on a pipe. So over the course of that month, as I mentioned, we did a CGC report at the beginning of the month. We got to AAA. We turned around, we had them back again today. So all signs were very good. It was very quick in and out. Only 2 samples taken. It was quite high in the cleanliness. So we expect it back tomorrow because he's going on vacation. So he told me he'd have it back in by tomorrow morning. So he was very, very hopeful. We also had a scale test today. That's our weights and measures test. So that's our annual, very important one. That's we got to be service. That's our that way we're legal for trade. So going as smooth as you could hope. Winter ones are always a little tougher. The hydraulics could be a little hit or miss, but we're in good shape. We'll finish that one up in the morning. And the other big thing that kind of fell on my lap overnight was I got contacted for our next GMP audit. It's a few months away, but it's just rare that someone contacts me at 8:30 at night for anything. So that's set for April 1st. I signed and set that up for today. Another kind of thing of note when I talked about rail cars, calcium chloride started by rail cars now. So I get to spend about a half an hour with them today. we were going through and they did their unload and we were shuffling cars around for them. So this looks like it's a promising project. We'll get to know a little more over the course of this upcoming month of February as we see how fast they go and what they can kind of predict for the future. Trial project for them as well. We have an understanding the barge is not going to be serviceable for 26. So we are going to continue to monitor that and see what we look like in the future. There could be the potential of having to put in the pipeline underneath just to make it easier for them, faster for us, safe for everybody. Takes your spill contingency out of the way. But hope to report more on that in the future. They were certainly very pleased with the initial. So that's coming out of Dallas. So it's quite a trek for us to watch and track as it makes its way up here.
Wow, that's interesting.
But yes, hopefully we have good news to report back on the next inspection as well.
Great report. Anything else, Sean?
Nothing jumping out at me.
Okay,
Thanks, Dave.
thank you. Questions, comments?
66 bins, confined space entries. That seems like a lot. Was that a record month for us, do you think, or?
Well, since I retired and had to get out of the harness, they've really gone down. Used to do about that in a week myself, but yeah, the entry process isn't that fast. So on a really good day, if it's smooth, you hope to get about 10. The team really works together, weather cooperates. So if we can keep it upwards of 50, I'm usually pretty happy. So, 389 bins, it's a lot to manage on it. So we try to facilitate it and work that in sections to keep maneuvering so I can stage for the course of the year. As we just mentioned, we got corn incoming. We're looking at an increase of corn coming, both potentially for inbound, maybe marine, but certainly immediate inbound for rail. So that's part of our whole pest management program. We're looking at sanitation starts first. Before you worry about chemically treating, let's make sure it's clean. And we know we've had some pretty interesting temperatures. The average bin temperatures right now, when I looked at the system this morning, was -5. So if it's an empty bin, we're already below freezing. So we've got that at a state. If we're thinking of insects, they're not going to live. It takes about 10 weeks, really. If they're that low, that's not great. You do need multiple weeks of that, but they're all but on the wrong side of breathing if we're going to keep it that cold. So that's what we hope to maintain. So we're very happy.
That's great. And just one last question. So the inventory at 46,000, 47,000, that seems like, I don't think I've ever seen it that low when we've been doing this. Is that our record? Do we think recent record anyways?
Yeah, you've got to go back more than a few years to see it that low. Like we haven't seen it like that in 7 or 8 years. Like it's definitely been a while. That's as much a change in the season as anything else. When we look at our corn numbers that we've dealt with right now, that's the lowest we've seen in very recent memory. We had watched the shift over the last few years. Corn started really moving into the port late December, January, February. As soybeans increased, corn shifted a little back into winter. It was a nice, pleasant treat to have because we started the new year in a nice position. We were seeing black with a guarantee where now we're back to scratching heads a little. The local market was tough. Every one of us has talked to anybody in the area since August. That was dry, and we knew we were going to be in for struggles. So it's pretty promising to look right now at the contact we have with this increase through spring. So that's pretty eye-opening to say we've got to be ready to handle a lot of grain in a hurry. That's something we're excited about, and as future months come, we'll all get the chance to sit down and talk to how big the numbers are going to be. Are we looking at somewhere in the range of 75 to 90,000 is the potential. So that'll carry us into June if the figures still hit that we're anticipating right now.
Good.
So
Okay.
yeah, we'll see a good shift.
Nope, that's good to hear. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Just curious on the scale inspection. Do you know they're coming, or do they just show up and say, we want to check your scale?
Well, I'd like to say we know they're coming because we know they come quarterly, and this is the big one. I got that message Friday morning, and they asked if we could come on Monday. So in a mild fit of panic, I got it back to them right away and asked, naturally we had a provincial holiday on Monday. I said, is there any way you can come Tuesday? So this is one you'd like more lead on. That was really too fast. We're in their database and it's up to them. Like we always know they're coming up, but we're at their mercy. When they say they're coming, they'll give us a little play. If you need to move back a week, we accommodate at a very high degree when it comes to the Grain Commission. So they work with us quite well, but that was unexpected. That was really fast. Normally I get at least 2 weeks. A week is worst case. that one really did catch me on Friday morning. Yeah. So we scrambled and got everything ready. We were all set, but yeah, I would have liked to seen a little more. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Sean. Any other questions? Go ahead, Mr. Smell, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. Just got a question for the Grain Commission. Do we have to pay them, or do they just come in and the government pays them?
Uh, they get a good portion of a lot of things. The scale test stuff, though, we don't have to pay on that. There are other services, there's things like the photosanitary stuff is part of a CFIA mandate. So that goes right across the country. Mike and I got a chance to sit in early January as well through WABA, a meeting about the way the sanitation's working. Most of them were Western Ontario or Southern Ontario. They've had big problems with the way they're doing it. So I got a chance to speak to our rep today, Kevin Lavoie, about it. We don't. Maybe we just get lucky that we're smaller and we're so far east and we have a good working relationship. When Kevin took his position, it was just him and I for almost a decade. So you worked off the same guy together. Maybe you just get lucky and rapport, but they are having big struggles, or they were looking to take it right at the CFIA. So if we get a slightly dodgy report, I can pinpoint it to, we didn't put enough men here. We needed to do a little better in that. They said they've hired new managers for the whole sanitation programs. Quality control programs are starting, and they're still not happy with the results. So it was very interesting. It was about an hour and a half seminar. We sat in, got to be part of the question period. So I don't know what they're doing wrong, because we're always going to have issues because we move grain. That when they said it, they don't store grain. They're saying we aren't even handling wheat. So you smile and laugh. So, well, that's all we're doing, storing grain, and we're handling way too much wheat with the extended lengths for sometimes where you can store pest insects. We store grain. We're going to get them. It was interesting. So yeah, we're in pretty good shape with it.
Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Randy, did you have your hand? No? You're okay, Frank? Okay, thank you. Moving on to 8B, maintenance report. Be presented by Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. It was the typical weekly, monthly dust system maintenance inspection. We did have an odd one this or last month where we actually had to replace the toilet on Leslie's side of the building. I'm not blaming Leslie, but it just, we've never had to change one before. You. We cut and installed urethane liner in 5 and 7 lofter heads. Plowed and salt roads when necessary, which was again, sorry, Fonda. Did empty bin maintenance of annex bins 3 and 7. We replaced a small winch cable of track 2 car haul. We had to rebuild the fan wheel of number 4 dust fan. What happens with the aluminum wheels? They just don't last like a steel one, but the aluminum ones don't create sparks, which the steel ones do. So it's safety. Installed temporary heating sources in admit building B, maintenance shop and boiler room. This was necessary while the mid B rooftop unit was out of service and being replaced. That was an unforeseen. Thaw and make functional many of the annex conveyors, drags and valves during that cold snap. Things just don't work that well. So we actually do have to heat some of them up with torches. Assisted Upper Canada HVAC with replacement of natural gas pressure regulating valves that supply the boiler with natural gas flow and pressure. That was budgeted for. So right now our boiler, gas pressure and the admin B HVAC units are working as we really want them to. It was just really bad timing for those units to go when they did. But we got through it. Work in the electric department included repair lighting circuit for rail shipping stairway. We work with the millwrights as required. Electrical Safety Authority conducted the first inspection of 2026 and all was found to be in order. They did, however, have some questions for the electrical department of Horst. And they did tell me that they were going to be pursuing Horst probably with some fines because any work they've done, they've never taken permits for. So I will keep in touch with them over that. Conducted monthly premise inspection as per GMP requirements. Continue with electrical install upgrades to container loading unit in order to bring it up to electrical code. We also had to replace a 10 kVA 600 240 volt 120 lighting transformer in Min B. This failed at the same time as the rooftop unit. I'm still not sure which actually started the chain reaction, but that's the way it went. We assisted Upper Canada HVAC with replacement of the Min B rooftop unit. Alarm systems completed their upgrade to the security alarm system components. And as previously mentioned, Upper Canada replaced the HVAC rooftop unit as well as the natural gas pressure regulating valve. And we will be installing the temperature alarm on the boiler room.
Thank you, Jeff. Questions, comments on the maintenance report? Anyone? Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff. So that comment from the ESA, so Horst, I think they installed our second grain dryer as well, didn't they? Yeah. So is there anything we have to be worried about from a safety perspective, or is it just the permit issue that they were chasing?
Actually, Horst did install the dryer, but they paid contractors to do most of the electrical work. There is some questions on that work. Is there anything that we need to be concerned of? No, as far as safety for us. The bigger question was of the CCAN loader equipment, that none of it was done to code
Oh, okay.
and no permits taken.
No permits taken and, okay, so, yeah. okay.
That doesn't reflect on us. That is solely on Horst.
No, I get that. I mean,
Yeah.
it just obviously if there's a safety concern, I guess you're
Yeah.
taking the right action on
Yeah.
that one to make sure that it stays
Yeah.
safe and, all the right measures are taken. So, okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Go ahead, Mr. Smil.
Thank you, Mayor, to Deputy Mayor. I just got two questions, actually. I'm curious, I read that you empty the maintenance bins of Annex 3 and 4. What do you take out of there? What do you mean you're emptying them? Where do you put it if you do empty it?
No, we're doing empty bin maintenance.
Oh,
So the
okay.
only
I read-
time we can
read
do the
it wrong.
maintenance on the
I got new
sweep,
glasses.
or that's okay. The only time we can do maintenance on the sweeps or the unloading augers is when they're empty,
Okay.
obviously. So that's what we're doing.
Thanks. My other question is, the monthly elevator maintenance, is that mandatory? That has to be done every month by the government?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. That's good. Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Frank, no? I have one. I just want to thank the maintenance crew for getting the heat on as quick as you did in the building B. I sure appreciate it, Jeff. So pass that on to your crew and to Upper Canada. So it's great.
I will
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thanks so much. Moving on to C, capital budget report. Leslie and Jeff, I guess.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I think the report at this point is pretty self-explanatory. We have a lot kind of either ordered RFPs in process or are waiting for some nicer weather to undertake some of the projects. But we're just obviously wanted to show our progress to date and share our gratitude for having this approved in December. It really allows us those few extra months to get our feet under us and get things ordered so that we have a full 12 months to undertake the projects.
Thank you. Questions, comments on the report? Go ahead, Mr.
Just a
Ward.
very quick one. You stole my thunder. I was going to say I can see some great Q2 stuff in there, which I don't think we've seen in a while. So I'm assuming that's because we did the pre-budget for all this October, I guess it was, right, or November. So anyway, it's good to see that. So I'm glad we're getting some of that work done now, so we can obviously give you more time to get it done. So good job.
And thanks to Rhonda for having us update this to show our progress. She was really on us.
Any other questions, comments? On the capital budget? Anything? Okay, moving on. D, report, financial report. Report by Rhonda.
Thank you.
welcome.
So for the month of January, our revenues were 484,000. There were no carryovers of vessels into January as there was last year. And as we saw at the end of the year and by the grain ops report, our storage remains significantly lower. That combined with no excess of on-farm grain to come into the port for vessel projects like we saw last year puts us at a very slow start to the year. We hope to improve on this with some of the anticipated rail movement over the next few months. Our expenses were 678,000 for the month. January does see some increases in salaries along with I'm accruing for the potential union negotiations, along with some past vacation cleanup. So, I mean, that both does affect the value of labor and benefit costs. February should balance out a little better than what January was.
Questions, comments on the financial report, please? Go ahead, Frank.
Rhonda, of the $167,000 increase over 2025 in terms of operating admin, how much of that was the grain loss adjustment?
192,000.
Okay, so in a sense, then operating admin was actually down year over year if you isolate the grain loss adjustment?
Yes, if you take that out of it, that adjustment does show up in the grain services revenue also, because it has to be an offset when it's a trade of one for the other. But I included it just because it is an operational issue.
Yep, no, fair enough. I want to make sure operating admin was well under control, and it sounds like it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else, Frank?
No, that's it. Thanks, Steve.
Anything else, people? Questions, comments? Okay, thank you. The GM report.
Sure, thank you. I'll quickly go through the report. As we previously alluded to, we're working hard on our capital and operating budget plan. And we did discuss at the last meeting, we continue to kind of monitor the investment options. So weren't prepared to bring a report forward this evening as the interest rates remain, relatively kind of in flux and low on the lower level. So we'll monitor that and bring forward a report at a future meeting. As a team, we've been reviewing the health and safety program and determining what we can do in-house versus what we need a third party to provide for us. Again, just working on following up on 2025 initiatives with respect to Enbridge Gas, the expansion opportunities. We're working with staff there on renewing the quote and CBSA licensing opportunities. We have met with CBSA technical staff on a few initiatives, and we feel that we're at a better spot now to get the actual help and resources we need on different licensing supports. Again, business development efforts, we continue to, knock on doors and see who we might be able to bring forward to the port. Just wanted to shout out to Rhonda for her incredible supports on completing the final audit. MNP was in the first week of February, so we hope to have that report forthcoming. Eastern Engineer is working on the kind of the preliminary work on the design and engineering for the dock rehabilitation and awaiting news from the snow melting on the dock so they can come and do a site visit. And again, the deputy mayor already alluded to this, but just recognizing our workforce in the frigid, working outdoors in the frigid temperatures. I just wanted to admire their resilience. I mean, some of those days were pretty chilly and nasty, so it's not for the faint of heart. We're working, continue efforts on cross-training and succession planning and training and workforce development. And we also did update the 2026 marine tariffs, and those are now on our website, and the grain tariffs will be ready for June.
Questions, comments, anyone? Frank, go ahead, please.
And this is, sorry for Leslie, and it's a bit out of left field, but I understand that the salt is basically all gone. So we're only at the end of, the middle of February. Does Rideau Bulk have any idea if salt can be brought in by rail from Goderich? Is that an option that's ever been considered? Because we can't get a ship in again until Welland opens, which is essentially the end of March.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Frank. I have been in contact with Janice from Rideau Bulk on a weekly basis, and they're making, any and every attempt to get salt in from anywhere. But right now, with the salt shortage across the province, Goderich at this point isn't really willing to give up anything. So as of now, they have no leads other than maybe something from Brazil, but it probably won't be in time for this winter season. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
On that note, Frank, I got an email from H2O about Compass, who said they're the biggest in North America, and they said they have enough salt for all Canada, all US, and all UK, and not to worry. So I have no idea why, and I mean, I don't know why we couldn't get it in by rail if we had to.
I took a look just before the meeting on Google Maps, and there is a rail line that goes very close to the salt mine. It goes actually to the grain elevator, but it's no further from the salt mine than essentially Rito Bulk's across the road storage is from the dock for us. So I got to think it's feasible. I don't know whether they've ever done it.
That's something to look at, anyways. Maybe Leslie.
Yeah, Sean and Rhonda just indicated that we have in the past, the port has brought in salt from by rail. So,
We have in the past, but it's quite frequent.
It was more so a lot before.
Rail was more of a project when we look back, if you go far enough in the 80s, before the town of Prescott moved all the piles down there, it used to be a little more common because we also only used to have that one-sided dock
Right.
for inbounds. And the other side, when we look at the harborfront area, was your long-term storage. You used to see one further length of that old dock. We could still do it. It's just a little more logistics around it now. When it used to be done, there was a pit. When we look where the retention pond is right now, our brackish water, there's a grate there, and you used to be able to either back in your stack or your little elevator. Technically, you could get in some trucks. That's not as clear. We couldn't just get vehicles to it now that we have that retention pond, because that on the surface would have been your best option. You can still have other ways to do it. Again, when you think of like stackers, like that, like elevators, and you watch it come out, and you'd go more towards where we have the calcium chloride stuff being handled right now.
Right.
You've got wide open space there, so everything's always an option to explore if they want to come to the table with it.
Yeah, I wonder
can
if
be
you
done.
maybe Leslie could look into that with Logic or with Rita Bulk next time you're talking to them. Say, hey, what about rail? See what our option is. Any other questions, comments? I have one, and it's a thorn, and that's number 3, in-bridge gas expansion. We've been doing this for 3 years, going on 4 years, trying to get natural gas there. I like to see if there's a way around this table. If we can bring up maybe a closed session next meeting in March and have Enbridge speak on that to us of a price, if there's a price involved, when they can do it, when will it be completed? Because this has been 3 years, and I find it's way, way too long. And we went to everyone, as Mr. Ward said Dougie was going to help us, and I haven't seen anything from that. So I wonder if we could just ask them to come to a meeting, what they have to us present after it'll be 3.5 years. Sure to God they would have something. I just need Will around the table if we could have Leslie do that. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good to me, Mr. Chair.
So would you mind, Leslie, setting something up with him, whoever you're dealing with, and tell them that we kind of like a little bit of answers? Because I'm not even sure if it's the same guy. I think we went through 2, maybe 3 now, but one every year. Every time we meet, they get sick or blood pressure goes up or you don't see him or something. But so I sure appreciate if we can get on that. Any other questions, comments? Okay. I need to, Port Management Committee received and reviewed items 8A, Grain Operation Report, B, Maintenance Report, C, Capital Budget Report, and D, Financial Report, and E, GM Report. I need a move and a seconder. Moved by Mr. Ward, seconded by Mr. Martell. All in favor? Carried. Approval of the disbursement. Council of Townsville River, Edwardsburg Cardinal approves the payments, port invoices circulated and numbered as follows. Is there any questions or comments before? Anyone? Go ahead, Mr. Ward, you're up.
Thank you. Hydro, $60,000. Is that normal for this time of year? It just seems like a big number to me. And maybe I missed it along the way, but
It is normal.
it is normal. Okay, well, there you go.
And they're playing games again with the global
Again?
adjustment that I cannot explain.
They're playing games again? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I went to them up in Toronto.
Keep in mind, some of that is delayed with hydro, right?
Right.
Because they're like almost close to 2 months behind on their billing when they bill. So some of that is still going to be from last year's
Right.
operating.
Fair enough.
How,
Okay.
how come that, Rhonda? Why are they 2 months behind?
It's just the way they bill, like the bill that we would have paid in February is for like December 1st to January 1st. And then when we pay in March, it's from January to, it's just the way their billing cycle goes.
Oh, I wonder if I could do my payment cycle like that.
Because this, like what you're seeing on that report is what physically came out of our bank account
Er,
for which would have been December to January. sort of
Right.
thing.
2 months then,
Yeah.
really. Any other questions? With the disbursements, go ahead, Mr. Smell.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I just got a question on the side-by-side that you're buying. $34,000. What kind is it by any chance? Does anybody know?
It's an Arctic Cat Pro. I should know all the numbers. And to be honest, it's a better machine than what the Bobcat is at a better price.
I agree with that, but did you price around at all?
Oh, I did. I got
Because there's
both
the
prices.
guy's
Yeah.
closing in Prescott. I just thought maybe he'd have a better deal on a Polaris.
No, I could not.
No, eh?
Nobody could touch it. Yeah,
Oh.
So that,
Is it gonna have heat in it for the wintertime?
it does.
All right.
Yeah.
I was worried about the poor guys working out.
It's a honestly, when I went and looked, it's a Cadillac. Like
Okay,
it really is.
Great. Thanks.
is that through Dillaboss in Marixville?
Yes, it is.
Hard to beat him. Can I have a mover and a seconder now? Any question or comments before I call? Question? Moved by Mr. Smell and seconded by Mr. Martell. All in favor? Carried. Council inquires and notes in the motion, if any? None? Chair's report. I have a couple of things. We have lots on the go. A lot of potential business knocking on our door day to day. I was talking to Mike last week before he went on holidays and Leslie, so we'll see what happens. We do have 3 vessels coming in, starting off the year, so that's good news. And we have over 200 rail cars coming from now and June with corn, so that's all now. And last, I met with, I felt pretty good about this one. I met with David McGinney, the Minister of Defense, 2 weeks ago, Thursday. And I had a talk to him about our port, and he had 2 questions. One, do we have any docking for repair of vessels? And 2, how far are we from Petawawa by transport? I told him, he said 45 minutes. I said, no, I'm sorry, Mr. McGinney. I would think about 2 hours. And I said, but we have rail too. And he says, rail at the port? I said, yes. And he says, send me everything you have on that. So I feel pretty confident with their 6.2 billion budget that we may get a little bit out of it because they're trying to spread everything out in Canada. And like he said, they have a big, super radar system coming from Australia going to Petawawa. Way over my head, and he says we got to transport it somehow. So we may get some business out of that. We've had business in the, with the Ministry of Defense down at the port before, like exercises and that. So we sent it off today. Leslie did, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I felt very confident when he asked me how far we were from Petawawa. So that's my report. I'm hoping things will look good and we get a little bit more business besides our agriculture business. Question period. We have nobody in the gallery. Adjournment. I need a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:05. Moved by Mr. Smell, second by Mr. Ward. Meeting adjourned at 7:05, quick as ever. All in favor? Good.
Just for everybody, Clint did text me. He tried to get into the meeting, but for some reason the link wouldn't work for him. So he sends his regrets.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Hope to talk to you from Florida next month.
Okay, good luck.
Don't brag, Frank.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Do we have the meeting there next month?
You're all
I don't
welcome.
know if I want to.